A lot of attention has been focused on the swing state of Pennsylvania, which pushed Joe Biden over the line to become the president-elect. What happens in Georgia is also very important. A recount currently underway there after the initial result had Joe Biden with a narrow lead over Donald Trump. So let's talk to Matt Stevens now, who is a political analyst, joins me from Atlanta, Georgia, very early in the morning. Good to see you, Matt. It's been such a roller coaster ride over the past few days. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling relieved, as some of the people in the B-roll that you showed, as they said, I'm very relieved that the election is over. Obviously, as you know, we've spent several days this week waiting for election returns. And so it's been a very slow process, a nail biter, but it's definitely been something that that we have definitely, looked forward to. So
many Republicans would say it's not quite over yet, Matt, though, with these legal challenges.
The legal challenges have already started. We're definitely, I know we're going to be seeing those in several states throughout the country. And, it's unfortunate. I mean, the counts have been slow. The counts have been very deliberate of votes. And I think that that's a really good thing. But I'm still I understand probably why they want to do the legal challenges. But at this point, the numbers bear out that Joseph Biden is the president-elect of this country.
Matt, what's the most important thing that Joe Biden said last night?
I think he really spoke to the act of really bringing the nation together. That's going to be the first thing that he's going to have to do. And I think that that's something that's going to have to run as a thread through everything that he does from here on out. I mean, that's going to obviously affect his coronavirus response, which is priority number one. Like you said, on Monday, he's going to his task force will begin to convene and get to work on that. But I think as he discusses issues of racial justice, of climate change, of the economy, of just civil rights and everyday problems that face everyday Americans, I think that compassion, that spirit of bringing people together, but actual spirit of getting things done is going to be, that is the critical and key thing that we need. We need that leadership right now, and we need it from day one. And I think that he will definitely be able to do that.
And in Georgia, it's been so close. There's a recount underway. Young black voters in the city supported Joe Biden, which is interesting because he's old enough to be their grandfather in many cases. Black women as well. What did they see in him?
Well, I think they saw a change away from Donald Trump. The past 4 years have been extremely divisive. They have been years that unprecedented. We've never been in a pandemic like this before. And obviously the entire world is facing the pandemic together. But I think that the thing that's different with this particular presidency has been the response to the virus. Things like that. Obviously, the racial injustice that we're seeing, police-involved shootings, where we are on climate change and wildfires in California, where we were on the economy just being fair in general to the average American worker and the workers right here in Georgia. I think that those are the things that people want to see change, that they are seeing that they want to see different from the way that Donald Trump has, really led this country in a very chaotic way. For most people, that's the way that they've experienced him over the past 4 years. And they are looking for an immediate hard right change from that.
And Matt, what do you put the growth and support for the Democrats and Joe Biden down to in Georgia? Is it sort of grassroots organizations? Is it Stacey Abrams?
Yes, definitely Stacey Abrams. I know that a lot of people have discussed her work here in Georgia, and I would be one to credit her as well. Her organizations, New Georgia Project and Fair Fight being two of them, that have really mobilized, and I'm hearing to the tune of 800,000 voters here in the state. And many of those voters are African American, and really pulling in a lot of first-time voters, a lot of voters that had maybe lived in Georgia for a long time but had not been involved in the actual democratic process. And, it's been the work of people like Ms. Abrams, as well as just everyday Georgians that have decided, I want to change my community. I want to see a different government that's going to be more representative. And so they've gotten to work. And so those are two organizations that definitely have played a large role in the numbers and the turnout that we saw here in Georgia on Tuesday.
I mean, it's exciting, Matt, to think of all of those people who are now so engaged in the political process. But they're going to have demands. What do you think the top of their list is? What do they want to see change right now?
Well, I always take it back right to the pandemic response. I am one that believes that the pandemic response, everything flows from that. Where our economy is, how we can address issues that are going on with everyday Americans. We can't begin to do really any of that work if we are still facing over, uh, 100,000 new cases of COVID-19 every day. That is something that we've got to deal with first. And from there, I think we'll be able to address issues about governance and the economy, things that are going on every day with people here in Georgia. And so that's something that, that pandemic response, if we can get our hands around that, I think that we'll be able to look to see how else we're going to move forward into 2021.
Matt, great to get your thoughts so early in the morning in Atlanta. Thanks so much for joining us.